The playoffs are done and dusted, and there were a lot of fireworks for the fans to feast their eyes on. Most of the eyes were on the bigger names with the likes of Aaron Judge, Justin Verlander, and Freddie Freeman gracing the fields. We couldn't help but notice, though, that many young and impressive pieces of talent managed to shock us quite a bit with how explosive and at times mature their play was. So here's the top 25 of the most impressive youngsters as of this point in this season. Before we begin, however, we want you to subscribe to our channel. It will help us create more fun content for you. Number 25, Garrett Crochet. At just 22 years of age, he has already broken into the headlines twice. Most players can't even do it once, but Garrett first popped up on the radars of many teams in 2020 before suffering an injury. He has returned and is once again turning heads. Number 24, Jesus Sanchez. This one is something of a power hitter himself. He was consistently in the top 100 prospects in 2018, 2019, and 2020. After heading to Miami on the deadline day of 2019, he never looked back. Sanchez scored 14 home runs in 251 appearances with 36 RBI. He is 24, so there's more to come. Number 23, Huascar Ynoa. With 50 strikeouts and 44.2 innings, he is starting to make people shiver as he loads up a pitch. He would have been much further up the list if he hadn't fractured his hand by punching the dugout bench. That must be an embarrassing story. Number 22, Camilo Doval. Doval came back to first team action in September and made the management look like fools for not calling him up earlier. In 15 appearances, he threw 14.1 scoreless innings. Those numbers are worthy of the designated spot as the closer in any team. Number 21, Triston McKenzie. This pitcher only needs a bit more consistency, and he'll be feared all over the USA. At 24 years young, he is famous for his showings against the Detroit Tigers last August. He dominated all the innings he played. He may not be very reliable thanks to his lack of consistency, but the only direction is up. Number 20, Jazz Chisholm Jr. His raw skills are better than most players who have trained their whole lives. Jazz has the potential to be a monster on the plate if he can somehow refine his approach. Number 19, Shane Baz. Shane pitched for Team USA in the Olympics last year. If that doesn't convince you that he has guaranteed potential, maybe you'd like to see us yell "Told you so" at the end of this season. Number 18, Shane McClanahan. It's always difficult to face a southpaw, especially in boxing. Shane was so dominant in the first game of the 2021 ALDS. He didn't get scored on once in 5 innings. Number 17, Luis Urias. The former San Diego Padres player took it upon himself to make sure his new team doesn't miss Trent Grisham, who went the other way. He must be given the third base job in Milwaukee now. Number 16, Luis Arraez. Luis has quickly risen as one of baseball's elite contact hitters. He has an average of .313 with only 88 strikeouts and 966 appearances. With bags of experience for someone his age, there are high expectations. Number 15, Casey Mize. This guy was the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft. He is leading all rookie pitchers with his mind-boggling stats. He has 118 strikeouts and 151.1 innings. Number 14, Emmanuel Clase. Chase has pure power in his right arm, and we all want to see more of it. He had big shoes to fill when he replaced Brad Hand, and boy did he fill them. Brad must be proud. Number 13, Alek Manoah. The number 11 overall pick in the 2019 draft had a breakout season at West Virginia. He is now the club's top arm, albeit in a squad filled with only youngsters. Number 12, Dylan Carlson. Carlson has played 149 games as a rookie and has hit 31 doubles, 18 homers, and 65 RBI. His performances have turned heads left, right, and center. Number 11, Ian Anderson. Ian had some admirers early on in his career, pulling off NL Rookie of the Year votes in 2020 and 2021. His stats are amazing in themselves with an average of more than 1 strikeout per inning. Ian Anderson will surely break into the top 10 next time. Having fun so far? Wait till you see the top 10. Stay with us until the end to see who we placed at number 1. First up, our number 10 is Trevor Rogers. He may be only 10th in our rankings, but there are no more pitchers from here on out, making him the best pitcher in all under 25 stars. After debuting only 2 years ago, Trevor rounded up a total of 157 strikeouts in 133 innings. His impressive performances landed him a spot on the NL All-Star team and almost won him the Jonathan India Rookie of the Year. He came in at a close second place. Coming in at number 9 is Yordan Alvarez. Believe us when we tell you, this guy can hit a ball. Alvarez is now considered an established top-tier run machine, and the fact that he did this after coming back from an injury-filled season in 2020. The only reason he isn't further up our list is that he went weirdly silent in the World Series. Of all the times to shoot a blank. In number 8, Wander Franco. Our number 8 date is only 20. Yep, you heard us right, 20 years old. He is much younger than most on our list, and he is still above many others. The amount of years he has before he can not be eligible for under 25 gives him the best chance to hit number 1 at some point. We'd be surprised if he doesn't hit it by the end of this year. His debut season is all we had to work with, and it was so good that we were forced to put him up at 8. Let's just all hope he doesn't get injured or hit a mental block of some sort. Knock on wood. Up next at number 7, Luis Robert. Robert's best season wasn't even a complete season. He was injured during his 2021 campaign, and if he can do what he did in that season for all of this one, no force in the world could stop him from topping not only our list, but all lists everywhere. We have a potential MVP candidate on our hands here. And now, Austin Riley is at number 6. After his rather disappointing first 2 seasons, no one expected him to burst onto the scene in the way that he did. Being a young standout star is particularly difficult because you only have a few seasons to show your worth. It is especially harder if you have those first 2 seasons. He had to come up with something big to overturn those seasons, and boy, did he deliver. Climbing up to be the best offensive player on the team and a bona fide MVP candidate helped him just straight to number 6 on our list. Next, number 5 is Bo Bichette. Life seems to be a bit unfair for Bo, having to live in the shadow of another rising superstar, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But he mustn't panic. Most of the Blue Jay fans may not notice, but we certainly have. He leads the AL leaderboards with 191 hits, 30 doubles, 29 home runs, 102 RBI, and 121 runs scored. There's a future MVP for you. Next up, Ronald Acuna Jr. at number 4. We're not gonna lie, we kinda wanted to make it a 4-way tie for first place, but for the sake of this video, we had to use the tiniest of margins to put them in order. No one is more concerned than we are about whether he will be back to his best this season after coming back from a torn ACL. After all, we have to keep our top 25 intact. Here's to hoping he doesn't face any issues, physical or mental. Up next, our top 3 starts with Fernando Tatis Jr. Fernando is the complete package when it comes to hitting the baseball. Despite only being available for 130 games, he led the NL leaderboards with 42 home runs and 25 steals in 29 attempts. He was 3rd in the MVP balloting and deserves to be number 3 in the rankings as well. And now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at number 2. Arguably the unluckiest player in our top 10. How do you play a season like the one he played and not win MVP? He would have won it if it was any of the years before. He led the AL leaderboards with his 48 home runs and 123 runs scored. His skill set is one of the best seen with top-notch power, contact ability, and plate discipline. We won't be surprised if he's the next generation offensive talent. And finally, Juan Soto is the best youngster out there. Juan may not want to celebrate too much for topping our list, but as far as we're concerned, there is no greater honor. His stats are similar to peak Barry Bonds, and that is nothing to scoff at. At the rate he's going, he could well and truly be the greatest of all time in a few years. There you have it. Please leave a like and subscribe. Bye!